Hello, Xenites. So it is our final night at XenaCon. We've had quite a long day.
It's been really long.
But
It's only midnight, though.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was like 4 in the morning.
It feels that way. And we're whispering because we're out in the hall because some folks are sleeping and some folks are partying.
Yeah. We wanted to be somewhere quiet, but didn't want to disturb anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I get all gushy, let's just start with things. You start with your...
So I was promised to give you a recap from my Brittany pal Brunhilde meet and greet. It was really low-key, hanging out around a conference table. It was 10 fans, and she knew most of the fans. She seems to really be aware of who is in the fandom. And she talked about kind of how she prepares for a role, and otherwise we just made jokes and were immature. It was very fun.
So then we come into today. Today started with Darian Tackle, who played Xena's mom, Irene. And she was just really friendly, and she was kind of treats it like a family reunion and brought a bunch of slides.
She showed us pictures of her family, and
Yeah.
Here's my picture of her. Oh, we're so cute.
Yeah, I think Ariel and I mean, my plan was to do this. I don't know if Ariel will agree. I think we're going to upload our photos into an album on the page so you guys can see our photo ops.
Yeah, I can share them with you all when I get home and scan them.
Yeah. And we'd love to see yours. So, leave them on the page too, guys and gals who've been at con. So she had like a slideshow of pictures of her family, and one thing that was really interesting, and for Xenites probably a little disturbing, she has this beautiful granddaughter with beautiful strawberry blonde hair, just the perfect little angel, and she's just adorable. And Darian revealed that her granddaughter's name is Hope. And all the Xenites exclaimed with horror in the audience, and she laughed. She took it. She was a really good sport about it.
Yeah.
But she just shared her personal life and her travels and adventures, and people asked lots of questions about her acting and when she started. And she said her first film was when she was 4. She did Little Red Riding Hood. She was just lots of fun, and she sang the song she did at Cabaret as Cyrene, topic of Cyrene singing about her daughter Xena and her close friend Gabrielle.
So then was Megan Desmond, who played Discord on all 3 series, Xena, Hercules, and Young Hercules. And she also plays Georgina on one of my favorite comedy episodes, Married with Fish Sticks. I'm not joking, I really love that episode. And she does not look anything like Discord. I admit the hair and makeup on Discord was not the cutest hair and makeup and costume on the show, but I don't know if you can see that in the dark, but look how cute she is in real life. She just had a baby recently, so she's not doing too much acting right now, but she stayed involved in the film industry in New Zealand. Really cute and sweet and modest.
Yes, and she was very eager to answer questions, and everyone went up and had really, I think this year the questions were very intelligent and thoughtful as well. People just seem to really care about the actors and their experiences and their current projects too, which was really nice. And Megan was just very friendly, and I did a photo op with her as well. I didn't bring mine out to show. And she was just very genuine and very just has a great heart. And I think Xenites should take a note that while Discord was a character you love to hate, I think we can all spend more time appreciating Megan's talent as an actor playing this character, because she put a lot of nastiness in it when she's actually a very sweet woman.
She said she originally auditioned for the role of like the sweet girl buddy for the Young Hercules movie, and she said that they liked her better for villains. So that was how she ended up playing Discord. And after Megan was Ted Raimi, and he just lives down the road, 5 minutes away. So he stopped by to come on stage and do our Q&A and tell some jokes.
He was awesome, but I was a huge Joxer fan growing up, so he could have just stood there. Actually, I said that to him.
So what was interesting is last year I asked him if he would reprise his role as Joxer, and he said he was too old, but then he got on stage and did some stunts with someone who wanted to be an actor and said, oh, maybe I still have it in me. And this year we told him if he reprised Joxer, he could just stand there. He didn't have to do any stunts. And he said, oh, well, then I'd love to be in the movie. So we talked him into it, telling him he'd play an older version of Joxer, not the 28-year-old version.
Yeah. And I actually got to ask the last question, which was nice. And he turned up the heat and was like, put all this pressure on me for it. And I asked my question, and I don't think he was expecting something like this. But I asked him, I was like, so fans can be rather opinionated and free with their opinions. And I asked him how it affected him when they had good things to say and the bad things to say, and how he coped with the negativity that fans can put out there. And he pretty much just said that first of all, when I asked the question, his eyebrows went up and he goes, oh, that was a really good question. And he spoke on how when you get into the business, you really have to quickly come to terms with the fact that people are going to say nasty things to you, and you just have to accept that, and you have to sort of like just look for just a couple people to entertain. And if you've entertained a couple of people, you've done the job. You're not trying to entertain everyone. You're just trying to appeal to the people that are entertained by what you do, and that is a success. And it was really thoughtful and really good advice for anyone who wants to entertain.
So we had a break for lunch, and then at 3 we gathered back together for Renee O'Connor, and she came out on stage, and she seemed to be really happy to be there this year. She wasn't on stage last year. She just did her awareness workshop, and she seemed really happy to be back and excited to see the Xena family again. And she did some Q&A, and I asked her what it was like to work again with Adrienne Wilkinson, the actress who plays Livia. Renee just directed Adrienne recently in a film called Broken Things. We plugged it a few weeks ago on the page, and Renee said she appreciated the question, and that she thought Adrienne was really a reliable actress and not a diva. Renee said her directing style is pretty hands-off and suggestive rather than directive. So she liked Adrienne because she really trusted her and didn't, gave Adrienne the freedom to develop the character.
So when Renee stepped from backstage onto the stage, I instantly started crying uncontrollably. I wasn't expecting that reaction. The whole weekend I've seen these people I admire and love, and was really excited and happy, and I was really excited and happy when Renee came out, but literally uncontrollable tears just began streaming down my face and continued to do so through almost the entire panel. I just couldn't stop crying. It was very magical for me as a first-time con, virgin, and it was overwhelming and amazing, and I totally fan-manned out.
So then, a half hour into Renee's talk, there were these little, little
shadow
puppets on the big screen where they blow up the actor's face with the video camera, and out comes Lucy, and of course the crowd goes wild. So Lucy and Renee swap places, and Lucy did Q&A, and of course she manages to be like deep and philosophical while also being the class clown at the same time, and it was just a hoot. She was singing and dancing. There was a young man, a 12-year-old, dressed up as Solon, and she started singing, "My dear Solon," and it was just like, maybe you had to be there. It was really funny.
So I was waiting in line for the Q&A. I was gonna, I had a question to ask her, and someone went up and said, "For the virgins, would you please sing the funeral dirge?" And I had just gotten myself under control from when I started crying when Renee came on, and I was like, okay, I'm good, and I was in line waiting, and as soon as she started singing, like, gosh, I got choked up.
There's videos of it already that people have posted if you want to see what we're talking about. It's the song she sings when at funerals on the show, and it's just beautiful seeing her sing it in real life.
It was amazing, and I just started bawling, and I was like, oh crap, I was 3 people away from my question, and so I had to like sob quietly while the audience was sort of, some of them closer were noticing that I'm like crying my eyes out. But I finally got up there and I asked her what advice she would give to those of us campaigning for a movie, and she pretty much just said she didn't know, because it just needs to be done, and people aren't acting on it, and I get the impression that she just is waiting to find out what's going to happen, and it's out of her hands. And I think the cue from that I get is that we should keep doing what we're doing.
Her and Renee both said several times that they would do the movie. They said that when someone else said, you know, would you do a movie? They both said yes.
Very enthusiastically.
And I was told from people that talked to them one-on-one throughout the weekend that they both said separately, yes, I would do the movie. So I agree with Jimmy that that's our cue to keep campaigning with Universal so that the rights get sorted out and the movie happens, because the actors want to do it and
the fans want it. I think one of the big things that we need to do is do more reaching out to younger generations, so that Universal sees that demographic being pulled in, because if it's not just the classic Xenites who've been there from the beginning calling for the originals, if it's the next generation calling for the originals too.
The young people that are in the fandom don't want young new actors, and that's the message we need to get heard, that nobody wants 20-year-olds to play Xena. We want Lucy to play Xena. We want Renee to play Gabrielle.
It's not just us 30-plus year olds that don't want it. It's the 15-year-olds that don't want it, the 18-year-olds that don't want it, the 20-year-olds that don't want it.
The 60-year-olds don't want it.
Yeah.
So after Lucy and Renee were on stage, it was the photo ops, and for the first time, Lucy and Renee did photo ops together. So it was a historic moment in the 19 years of fandom. We were able to do something that had never been done before, and the excitement was amazing. Like, people were lined up around the building. It was not cheap. It cost $300 to get this photo, and hundreds of people were, you know, really making personal sacrifices to be able to afford this.
Amen.
And, and you could tell who'd already been in to see them, because when you came out of the photograph room, people were just glowing, and they just had this look of like bliss on their faces, like, oh, I was just between them.
Or crying.
There was crying.
Holding of the chest. There was a lot of that.
Many dreams came true today. I got my photo printed up. I will scan this when I get home so you can see it. But there's Lucy and Renee and me in the middle. I'm just beaming, and they're like, you know, smiling. Oh, another, you know, here's another photo op, and I'm just like, I'm in between them. It was awesome.
I'm gonna save mine and reveal it on the page for you guys. A lot of people here at Con got to see it, but I'm going to. We're gonna reveal that one. It's a little special.
So then after the photos and autographs, there was an after party, which we were just at, which had a Gabrielle-shaped cake. I posted a picture on Twitter. Go check that out. And there was a raffle where various Xena merchandise and paraphernalia was given away to the raffle winners, and a dance party, and people, now that it's a little after midnight, are doing their tearful goodbyes because people are getting up as early as 5 in the morning to catch flights, and we go home until next year.
I think the coolest prize that I saw, and no one knows how this got there because, you know, people just randomly donate it, but there was a Texas magazine, and some of our friends are from Texas, and so they recognize the magazine, that had an article about Renee playing Gabrielle, and
it was from 97.
Yeah, and in the page marker, the bookmark for the article was a card that said something along the lines of, to Renee, thought you'd want to see this, or something.
Mhm.
Love, Mom. We all just about shat our pants when we realized the card that was in there, and no one really knows where it came from. It was pretty epic.
Yeah, a handwritten note from Renee's mom. So we should wrap up. We've been going on long enough. Thank you for sticking with us. This is our last con broadcast. I hope you've been enjoying them, and I hope that you can make it next year, because it really is theoretically supposed to be the last con.
And not only that, the more of us that are here, the bigger a statement it will be. I know I'm planning to, I spent over $2,000 for this trip, but I got all but 2 photo ops and autographs. And next year, I'm going to plan to spend $4,000+ because I want to do it all.
Thank you, everyone.
We love you.
I hope to see you next year.
Battle on.